Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ash's Song Review, my comprehensive review series where I look at songs, new and old, and I give my opinion on them. Yes, I know you're wondering, but is this an album review? No, it's a song review, you stupid frickin' dummy. Basically, it's like the album review, but it's for songs, just one song over the whole video. The song on the chopping block today is Start the Healing by 90s renowned nu metal band Korn. This is the third single that follows the 2019 album, The Nothing, released by your mom. The song on the chopping block today is by the renowned 90s nu metal act Korn and is called Start the Healing. It is Korn's third single following the release of their 2019 album, The Nothing. And also, fun fact, as I was writing and researching this video, I found that Korn did a cover of The Devil Went Down to Georgia, which is pretty funny. And on the cover of Weird Korn Signals, they do have one that is a cover of Jingle Bells, where the title is changed to Jingle Balls, which is probably the most Korn thing to ever be done. But returning to the new song, I do believe it to be a single that's released pertaining to a new album that's going to be coming out, but that's just kind of a theory. I'm not going to finish that statement. I want to preface immediately that I do have a lot of criticism for this song. I think there are a lot of things about it that could be better, but before that, I want to talk about an important talking point that I think kind of excuses or explains why the song is the way it is. There's a point in a lot of bands or artists' career where they exercise a lot of creative ability, putting out songs and albums, building an audience, but then they reach this point to where it's like, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? After all this creativity is expunged into all this music, and you reach that point to where you have achieved success, but you have to keep going. You have to change your sound, change something about your aesthetic, the way you look, the producing, the marketing. Just, you have to change. I mean, you don't have to change, but then you'll end up like AC/DC, and we all know what AC/DC is. Now, there is a fine line that you have to draw when you evolve as a band to where you want to change your sound to where you can draw in new people without alienating all your old fans. Especially in Korn's case, I think it might be the worst because they have existed for a very long time. It gets harder to maintain this the longer your band keeps going, and Korn's existed for 25-something years. They're in a tough position. The biggest example of a band changing their sound and maybe isolating a lot of their fans is Metallica. Everybody knows Metallica. I love Metallica. You probably love Metallica unless you're a fucking hipster. And you understand that they made a large creative shift in their first 3 or 4 albums. They went from playing this a little underground, a tad bit mainstream, heavy thrash with a lot of really heavy elements of the music to changing to a more hard rock kind of sound. And a lot of people gave them a lot of shit for it. And while the goodness of Load and Reload is a little debatable, you have to admit that the band had to go somewhere, and then that is all found in the Black Album. As much as you want to fucking hate that album, it is extremely important. Maybe one of the most important metal albums released in the last 10 and 20 years. I just made every Anthony Fantano fan quiver in their boots with that statement. So back to this point, Korn is at this place where they have to change something, you know. It's 2021, people don't like listening to the same shit, even though they kind of do, because Slipknot is still really popular. But I digress, because this song is a little bit of a difference. It follows a really heavy pop structure, which we will get further in the meat of this video. The creme de la creme. I sound like a creep. First off, I want to state that production is actually really good. The guitar tone sounds great, the bass and the drums are really tight, they're really full, they occupy the sonic space that they're meant to do really well. It really fills the headphones out really nice. Jonathan Davis's voice is actually very good for 20 years and a lot of meth. I think the clean vocals on the song are actually surprisingly good and they fit the lyrical themes pretty well. I think this is probably the best clean performance he's done that I've heard in ever. And again, back to the drums, an incredibly tight and full sound that just, it's good. Very good in the production department. I do have to give a little golf clap to that. And I do want to restate that before I start criticizing the song, I want to completely clarify that I appreciate that Korn is doing something new. It's more raw. It feels more honest. And despite following a poppy structure, it feels like this does come from a place of generosity. There's no weird shit. There's no super big mosh parts. There's no fucking there's none of that. And I think that's cool because that means Korn is not relying on any gimmicks for this song. It's all their creative ability apart from, you gotta love some fucking boom nas. I think my primary criticism of the song is that it's overall just really bland. It's not a bad song by any means, but it's not crazy. When I listened to it for the first time, my initial thoughts were, is it good? And I'm not saying that the second I listen to a song, my ears have to instantly orgasm. No, I'm not saying that. But still, it kind of fell into this uncanny valley of like, is this good or is this bad? And as I listened to the song more and more, it did start to grow on me. But again, you have to ask the question with a lot of these more popular and more formulaic songs, what does it give me that other bands and musicians can't give me? It follows the whole verse, pre-chorus, chorus, repeat that, and then a bridge, and then a double chorus where the second one might be slightly more dramatic. And that's a pretty reliable and good song structure. Trust me, it's worked in a lot of good places, and I do like it. I have a lot of fond feelings towards that song structure, and I think it can do... I think it can be done really well. But at the same time, this song just kind of plays it really safe. There's not a lot of things done that are different or I can only get them from this Korn song. To me, it kind of sounds like Korn is covering a pop song. Just, the pop structure, but it's just Korn. It's not even an incredibly Korn song. Again, at the same time of them stripping down a lot of the gimmicky things, I kind of wish that they were in the song. I know it's not easy to write a song with good hooks, and as much as the tech death community wants you to think, no, it is really hard to write songs like Ed Sheeran. It's really hard to write pop songs with really catchy hooks. That is something that requires a lot more skill than fucking... No, stop. Even though I kind of like that music. As much as this song does follow a structure that I like, I kind of wish they would throw some more Korn personality into it. I'd be okay with a couple boom nas. I'm not gonna lie, if the bridge was boom nas, I would be totally okay. Like, you have to think about it in the perspective of a first listener coming to the song. When I first listened to Korn, I went to Freak Unleashed, their most popular song, the song that they're known for, the weird ass bridge, the fucking boom na na. And that in itself is so shocking and new and different that how can you hate it? It's awesome. If your first introduction was Start the Healing with just this basic ass kind of structure, but a little, down tune, I don't know, what would you get out of Korn that would not be, I should listen to this again? It's just like, okay, that was a song. That was a song. And again, not hating on the band for the structure, but still, just do something creative or, dangerous or different or risky. That's all I'm really trying to say with that. And again, I'm not trying to hate on the band, but I think just the general consensus as a whole is that they were not taking a creative risk with this one. A lot of big artists can just kind of release any song and a lot of people listen to it, but I think it was kind of crummy that they just released this kind of song. I wish they would just take a bigger risk. It would be cool if maybe they invented a new thing or they just did the old thing but kind of refreshed and refabricated it to be something a little different. Overall, just the general consensus is an artistic risk would maybe make the song better. It could make it worse or it could make it better. But overall, it's really middle of the road. Korn finds himself right in the middle, mediocre section of my review score. It is an incredibly inoffensive, unrisky song that does not take a lot of creative risks, and that does not make it bad per se, but it doesn't make it anything that I would listen to again and be like, fuck yeah, I love this song. The score I will bestow upon the song is an even 5. Again, in the middle of the road, not super bad, not super good, just kind of eh. Again, you have to think, Korn's been a band for 20 years. They have had their fair share of highs and lows. Why would you listen to this song that has come out that is very mediocre by this band that's existed for 20 years? There's so many new artists that are making so many innovations. Why would you just stick to Korn's new song when you could listen to a lot of the popular music with popular song structures that do a lot of different things that you can't find anywhere else? All I want is for Korn to adjust to modernity, the modern era, but with something new that is still them. That's all. Because, like, at this point, why listen to Korn if they existed for so long? I do like me some occasional Korn, that vitamin K, but backwards. Anyway, this is continuing on for way too long. My name is Ash. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like and subscribe, do all that funny stuff. In the description, I'll link all my other social media stuff. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a blessed day. Mwah.